protection, here to stay. On your path the truth unfolds, guides will whisper, stories told. Let your journey now begin, in the magic let's dive in. So tell me, what do the cards reveal? What's the truth they conceal? She's the high priestess with the key to every question that's haunting me. A lover's heart or a warning from the past. In the terror's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. In the tarot's embrace, I'm spellbound at last. Truth's come undone, it's a dance we must face. In the chaos I find my place. The moonlight glows, the veil is thin. Moon of infinity will call again. Thanks for walking in the light, where guides whisper pure insight. Until we meet, the cards will wait. Mystic whispers guide your fate. With every message our spirits send, for cosmic dreams our souls transcend. Hello everyone and welcome in. Just a reminder, if you drop the yes no question, I ask that you like the live stream. Just consider that your form of payment to me. Liking the live helps boost the algorithm. It helps YouTube share me out and reach new people.
So if you guys are looking for something from me for free, the only thing I ask is that you like it and help me get more reach and exposure out there to others that might be on the platform. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Okay, so Amy says, how are you? Amy, hello, welcome in. I know it's been a minute, but I know you're around. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I did get your donation as well. Let's see. It looks like Techie might have also sent a donation, so I've got that. We will get to donations after the free list is over, so just sit tight. All right, first up on the list we have Alessandra. Alessandra, I am getting a no. I have the 9 of Swords. Andressa. I have a yes, 3 of Wands. Pure Heart. I have a yes, 4 of Wands. Amy. I have a no, the Hanged Man. Mature. I have the 3 of Swords. That's a no for me, Mature. Techie. The company you're at, be open to your idea about an associate program. Techie, I am getting a yes. The King of Swords. You're welcome, everyone. Happy September, Jarella. All right, this is for the Gemini. Gemini, I'm getting a no. I have the Five of Pentacles. I know. I can't believe it's September either. It's so crazy. Spirits flying by. We're already heading into spooky season. Margaret, I'm getting a no. I have the Four of Cups and the Hermit. Sienna, yes. Queen of Cups. Aesthetic. Aesthetic. So this is an interesting one. I have the Ten of Swords, but the Ace of Cups tried to come out. So with the current energy, I will say no, but I think that this might be a situation that might be open to changing, possibly. So I'm going to say no for right now. The energy is more leaning towards a no, but I'm going to say just be open to any option. But I'll say most likely not. Dorella. No, Eight of Swords. Yeah, September came fast. The summer flew by. You're not ready? That's so crazy. That's one took their like away tonight. All right, so I definitely know I answered a lot more yes no questions than the amount of likes on here. So karma's gonna get you guys. And if I answered a yes no question for you and you took your like away, karma's gonna get you guys. I'm not gonna worry about it. Dorella, thank you for all of the call to actions in the chat. I really appreciate it. Margaret, Sienna, you're welcome. Aesthetic, you might change your mind. Yeah, you're welcome, Aesthetic. All right, Maya, we're going to answer this question for you, and then I do have to move on to donations after this. My free list is closed, guys. Donations are open. I have 2 people on the list right now. They're both minis. I don't know if we're adding on, but they should go pretty fast. Thank you, Techie. Anna, it looks like you just missed the free list, but it's $5 for a yes no if you'd like to donate. All right. RC said Samuel Aries will notice that he has been very paranoid, thinking I'm dating other guys. Show me a yes or a no for Maya, please. I am getting a yes, Maya. It's the justice card. Techie, you said update on MG situation on when you see him reaching out in October. Did I say he'd be reaching out in October? I don't think I specified October. You're welcome, Maya. All right, so first on the list I have Amy. Amy, we are ready for you, friends. Go ahead and post your question for me. After Amy, we have Techie, 1.5, 2 months. Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I did say that. I just didn't remember the month of October specifically, but we will yeah, we'll look into it. We'll look into it for you. What is it that you specifically want to know though? I guess I'm a little confused about your question. Like, do you want to know if the energy is still the same for that to be the case? Just make sure that we're still on track for that. Oh, how he'll feel or what he'll say. Okay, so anything that comes up with communication when he reaches out to you. Got it. All right, that sounds good. And Techie, are you hanging out with me until it's your turn or are you leaving? Oh, Techie. Okay. No worries on that. That is all right. You know, and even if you weren't here, I could do your reading for you, so it's all good. All right. All right, so you said me and Dominic met in person finally. Went okay. He visited you while you were painting your family's nail salon in his hometown. How does Dominic truly view and feel? All right, let's see. So Amy, he wants to see you again. I have the Six of Cups here. So he viewed this interaction, however, it went as successful. And he's looking to make plans with you again at some point. The Six of Cups here is like reunion, reconciliation, feeling very comfortable around you really fast. And like maybe feeling like you're familiar to him, like meaning that he can relate to you, he gets you, you get him. I am a little bit picking up on your uncertainty when it comes to him. Like I feel like from your perspective, you might be like I don't know. And I don't know if this is because of who he is, or if it's because of what you've been through, or because maybe you feel like you can't really trust yourself to make a good decision or form an opinion around him. But I'm getting that you are like more uncertain than he is. And he's not overthinking this connection from his perspective. He's just taking it for what it is at face value. And he's like, I would really like to spend time with her again. Um, like I feel like he enjoys your company and the flirting and just, like getting to know you. I feel like he's kind of just like going along and kind of carefree, and I like getting to know her. Like that's kind of what his perspective was. um I feel like honestly, I don't even think he's picking up on your hesitation either. I don't. You know, I think he's kind of chalking up any kind of hesitation or uncertainty. If there's anything that you're kind of showing, like you being a little bit more reserved, he's not taking that personal. He's kind of like, oh, maybe she just has a lot going on. Like maybe she just was busy. Like I really feel like he's the kind of guy that's just going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I think he wants to see the best in you. And I think that he just appreciates you for who you are. There's a kinship. Okay. Do you guys have like similar upbringings by chance? Like, you know, for example, he might understand what it's like to be very close knit with your family, or work in a family business. This is just an example, but he relates to you in certain ways, whether it's culturally or traditionally or just like similar upbringings or something. It's like there's definitely a fascination with how easy it is for you guys to get along with one another. And I will say the friendship for him is coming first. That's at the top for him, that he definitely sees like a friendship developing, but he says at a minimum, meaning that he is open to something more with you romantically if that comes through organically. I really don't think that he's in the business of like forcing things, but I am kind of getting the feeling that he might be a little more into this than you are. Um, or at least maybe if he's not more into you than you're into him, he's just more open to the idea of you guys spending time together. Like, I think he's willing to take whatever it is that you give him, to be honest. I don't think that he judges you. I don't think that he is really forming an opinion either way. So if you feel like you're kind of overthinking and unsure, he's just like, cool, dude. Like, he's just very go with the flow, very effortless. I feel a lot of smiling around you for him. So spending time with you, he's smiling a lot, um, thinking about you, and you guys aren't together. Or if you guys are in contact communication, like if you text him or something like that, seeing the notification pop up on his phone makes him happy. I really think this is like a good connection for you in terms of like it's going to be set with a really good pace or a really good tone. I feel like he just really gets you, and I don't feel like he's the type of person that's going to put any pressure on this if that's not something you're ready for. So bottom line, friendship is important to him with you. He feels like you guys pretty much get each other really easily. There's still stuff to figure out about you. He still has stuff that he wants to learn. He definitely wants to see you again, but it's more like friendship with the like open mind, or having an open mind with like it could potentially develop outside of that. um but I feel like he's just not really wanting to pressure you into something more. And I think that he's cool with wherever this leads. You said it was nice banter, not ready for anything other than friendship. But thank you, much appreciated on the insight. I'd honestly just been trying to focus on my health. Yeah, that's important. I saw you mention earlier on that you were working on getting your medication adjusted and stuff. So that's definitely good. And I think that's for the best anyways. I think you've got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. And allowing for friendship to develop. And I will say some of the best friendships come from, or some of the best relationships come from friendship first. Aisha, okay, so your question, if it was missed, I do apologize about that. I do want to say that in my disclaimer, I do say that I try to go in order for free questions. I can't always get to every single person. It used to say that I do this at random, even though I do try to go in order. I'm going to go ahead and answer your question really quickly, but just know that these are free readings and it's not always going to be a guarantee that I'm going to answer every single person that posts. Again, I do this out of the kindness of my own heart. So I do apologize that you were missed. But keep in mind, I can't always get to every single person. I'll catch you later. I'm going to make some dinner. Amy, have a great rest of your night. Yes, that sounds great. Definitely give us updates, even if you're not coming in for readings. Come in and check up on us here. This is for Aisha. Thanks, Amy. Have a good night. Aisha, I have a yes, the Emperor, and the 8 of Wands. Energy is clear. Okay. This is for Techie. Techie was a donation for a mini reading. So Techie, you said you wanted basically just an update on this, basically how he'll feel or what he'll say when he reaches out, basically anything that comes up. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, how will he feel? How will he feel? All right, so Techie, I think that he's going to kind of confront how he left things off with you. Not that I feel that he feels he owes you anything, but I think that there's clearly something that's like between the two of you. And so from his perspective, he feels like maybe he didn't handle that exactly the right way. So I think there will be some kind of like clarity that he tries to provide to you, to basically explain why maybe he didn't give you a proper goodbye, to allow for a proper send off. He might try to retrace the steps as to what was going through his mind that day, and basically just try to reach out to you. Now, there might be some clarity there because I have the Tower and the Seven of Swords, which means that he kind of like just let it all fall apart and he was kind of like ran away. Because like the Seven of Swords talks about like sneaking or running off or running away. But at the same time, like he may want to kind of address that, but brush over it a little bit and not really dwell there, because I think his main reason for reaching out is to just kind of regain contact with you. So he's not going to come across as someone that's going to necessarily apologize for what happened, but basically just say like, I wish, maybe express some regret, possibly like, I wish that we would have exchanged information before I left. I wish we had a way to kind of keep in touch. It took me a minute to like figure out a way to get in touch with you, something along those lines, just to kind of like pay homage to the fact that you didn't get that goodbye that you were looking for from him, and kind of clarity maybe at that time if this was something he was still interested in. I feel like he will want to collaborate with you and want to strategize with you on a way to maintain contact. So he might say, like, I found you on this social platform, but I would really love to get your phone number, essentially. Like, I feel like he's going to do what he can when he reaches out to you, to maybe try to work with you and strategize with you to see if there's a way for you guys to keep in touch. Depending on how the conversation goes, this may not be the initial conversation. However, maybe it will be. I feel like there could be some expression of feelings, some expression of like, yeah, I had a crush on you back then. Sorry, I never like did anything about it. But there is definitely like this air around the conversation with the Knight of Cups. It's kind of like a little more flirty, a little more like, let me just go ahead and put myself out there and see how this goes. Just take a chance at it. So yeah, there's definitely still like feelings and interest. He might talk to you as in past tense. Like he might not say to you, I have a crush on you. He might say, when we worked together, I had a crush on you. But even if he's talking in past tense, there's a reason he's telling you now in the present moment that he's looking for an opening to see, hey, is she interested in what I'm saying? Because there may still be some like curiosity there from him. And when you say something in the past tense, it makes it less scary, I guess you could say. And he's always had a little bit of an issue with building the courage to talk to you and confront you directly. So by him speaking in past tense, that might be his way of saying like, I still do have these feelings, but if you're not into it, then at least I didn't say I still have these feelings. I said it, I did before, to not really stick your neck out there too far. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting. Exactly. Yes. Trying to protect himself even though it's obvious. Exactly. Yep. That sounds great, Techie. Just let me know what your next question is whenever you're ready. Okay, cool. So it looks for an in-depth reading. Great. Just let me know when you're ready. Yeah. Techie, absolutely. I do want to kind of remind you that when we're looking so far into the future, that like the energy that I tapped into today is just essentially like a path forward, like where this could potentially go based on where you guys are at this time. So if you don't like what you hear, it doesn't mean it can't change. And if you do like what you hear, I don't want you to like hold steady and fast to something like this. Because like if we're asking about next week, that's a little more certain than this abstract whenever you guys see each other again. And also like the abstract opportunity of like dating each other, where I still feel like that is a possibility. I don't I don't give guarantees. So I just like want to be clear about that. But we will absolutely look into the energy for you. And the only reason I say that is because there's been people in the past that I've done this kind of reading for where they've like held me to that, like with a knife to my neck. And I'm like, I can't, I'm sorry that you took it that way, but that's not how tarot works. um, but it gives us a good check-in point to kind of let us know how things are looking. And then if every reading is pretty consistent, then that gives more confirmation to the fact that this will go through, you know, how it comes through. Jasmine, I got your donation. I'll be with you shortly. Just bear with me, please. How will he feel when they meet in person again? How will he feel when they meet in person again? So, Techie, he's going to have like a mixed bag of emotions when he sees you again. There's like this bittersweetness. So, like, the bitter is the fact that he is disappointed in himself that he didn't make a move sooner. I think seeing you and seeing how much time has gone by since maybe these first feelings sparked for you and the fact that he's done nothing about it all this time is definitely going to be disappointing for him. Like he not like upset with you, but like upset with himself for letting so much time go by. I think he's gonna kind of beat himself up about it and feel a little bit defeated. I feel like he's gonna be in a place where he's gonna say, why didn't I just do this a lot sooner? Because I've had feelings for so long. And like she's so radiant and she's so beautiful and you know, like what was I thinking letting so much time go by without doing something about it. But the sweet part about it is that there's a lot of excitement that he has when he sees you again. um I have the temperance card, so there's going to be, you know, a lot of this inner conflict of like I want to make a move on her, but I also don't want to be off-putting and I don't want her to feel pressured. But maybe it's like almost like all of this feelings that he has for you just kind of like builds this pressure cooker inside. So when he sees you again, it's like I want to do everything. Like I want to take her on a date, I want to hold her hand, I want to kiss her, I want to spend time with her, and like all these things. And he knows like he has to kind of hold back, even though inside he's like, but I've been wanting this for so long. I do feel like you're giving him a lot of green light. So he does feel like you are just as much into him as he is into you, and that makes him feel really excited. Like he feels like the energy is clear. Um, and I feel like when you guys are dating, like if you guys move to the dating side of things, yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like you would be kind of a tease for sure with the Queen of Swords here. It's like, I'm gonna let you get close, but not too close. But I still think it's still playful. It's still very obvious that you're interested in him. And then if we jump over to like the dating realm, like going on dates and things like that, how that will be, I'm getting that you don't really ever do the same thing over and over again. Like, one day it might be um, going out to eat, and another day it might be going to like the city, and another day it might be an activity like mini golf, or maybe another day you do like a spa, or you go to like a historical site, or you do something fun. Like, I mean, I'm literally just making up just different things, but basically what I'm saying is that the dates, I feel he never wants to be redundant. So it's like if you do one thing one day, you're going to be doing something completely different the next time. He's going to be thinking of different things to do and different places to take you. And I do feel like throughout dating him, you will feel very, very appreciated. I'm not sure what his love language is, but you're going to know it. Like dating him, you're going to know it. So if he's a words of affirmation kind of guy, oh, you're going to be getting compliments 24/7. Like if he is an acts of service, you're going to know it because he's opening doors for you, and he's, paying the bill and things like that. Or if he's like a gifts of appreciation, he's going to be bringing you flowers and gifts and trinkets. And oh, you mentioned you like chocolate chip cookies, I brought one for you today. Like, I think his love language is going to be very, very, very obvious to you when you guys are dating, and he's going to make it known like how much it is that he appreciates you through this way of him showing love. You said it's good because you don't like doing the same thing. That's good. That's good. Then things will not get tired. Maybe that's one thing that you guys can agree on, is that you maybe have your comfort zone, but when it comes to getting out and exploring, if you're going to leave your house, you want it to be something fun that you haven't done before. I'm kind of the same way. Like, for example, like if I go out to eat food, I'm not going to order something off the menu that I have made at home or can make at home. If I'm going to go out to eat and spend money to have someone else prepare the food for me, it's going to be something that I've never made before or don't have the ability to cook. So that's kind of like the same idea, is that maybe his comfort zone is at home, but he's saying that if he leaves his house, if he's going to leave his comfort zone, it better be for something fun. It better be for something that he's never done before, at least the two of you together. And making new experiences, especially in the beginning, is going to be very easy for the two of you, because it'll feel like a new experience. Even if you've done this particular thing before, you haven't done it together. Yeah. So definitely like a lot of good vibes. Just like a very sweet, fun, lots of laughing, lots of smiling, and just overall having a really good time. You guys might, if you guys are really into animals, like if you love dogs or something, you might go to like a dog park, or you might go to like, they have like kitten cafes. If you love cats, you might go to a kitten cafe where you can hang out with, kittens all day long. Like, there's going to be definitely different creative things that you guys are going to be able to do. But overall, like, he feels joyful being with you and being around you. But there is a little bit of him that's kind of kicking himself for like waiting so long to make a move. I love that. I think it's always a good sign when someone is an animal lover or has like a close connection or affinity for animals. I personally am not like a big animal person. Like, I love them from afar, and like I fostered a lot because I care about other living beings, and my heart hurts for animals who are mistreated. But me myself, I've never been like super interested. And as I'm saying this, my cat is like trying to climb on top of my computer. But growing up, I've never really been. I've loved cats. I feel like cats are great. They kind of like understand personal space for the most part. Dogs hit or miss for me. But I think that even if you're not a big animal person, as long as you have a heart for an animal, as long as you foster or donate to the SPCA, or if like a situation comes, you come across where, you know, you need to help another creature, as long as you're that kind of person, because that's who I am, then I think that's great. My husband, on the other hand, he's obsessed. Like, he loves every single animal you could ever possibly think of. And he's just such a good and gentle soul. And like, I really appreciate that. So I think really being a big animal person, yeah, you either. Here's the thing, I like animals that give you personal space. You know what I mean? So sometimes dogs are a little bit tough for me because they want to be like inside of your skin, like, and that for me. But I also have stimulation problems. I get overstimulated very easily. But I definitely think like someone being an animal person is a very, very good quality, because it shows you their kindness and their compassion and their empathy. And if someone's straight up like, I hate animals, I feel like that is the biggest red flag ever. You can be like, it can be like not your cup of tea, but you still have to have compassion for other living beings. You know what I mean? But anyways, Techie, that's my little TED talk here. Let me know if there was anything else that you wanted to add on for, and if not, I'll go ahead and move on to our next person. Yeah, definitely. Wesley, my free questions are done for the day. If you want that question answered, you can donate $5, or you can check back another time. Okay, Techie, that sounds great. All right, and I have you for another mini reading. You're welcome, Wesley. All right, this one is just for fun because it's a year out. I'm going to grad school next year. Congratulations. How would a relationship be with MG as I transition into the next chapter? Okay. Oh, he's gonna try to make it work. He is a very, very supportive. You're welcome. He's a very, very supportive person. He's the type of person that would tell you, like, I don't ever want to hold you back from your dreams or your career, or any plans you have for yourself. Like, he's basically like, if I come into your life and that changes the course of the path that you were setting for yourself, I don't want to interfere with that. So he's going to say, like, I will fit into the mold of your life. I will fit into the nooks and crannies wherever you can fit me in. I don't want your path to alter just because I'm in it. Um, will that be hard for him to not see you as much, or to feel like, you're having to dedicate a lot of time to your school and to your studies and things like that? Yeah, that's going to be kind of hard for him. But he's the type of person that sees things long term. Like, he's not going to think to himself, this is pointless, because I feel like he is the type of person that's not in it for the right now. He's in it for the long run. If he is going to take things to the next step with you and he's going to be in a relationship with you, then he basically feels like by supporting you, he's supporting your future together. If he was more interested in you just for right now, for fun, for a good time, friends with benefits, then yeah, maybe you pulling away from him so you can focus on your education would be a damper for him. But in his mind, he's thinking, I'm supporting her, therefore I'm supporting us. I'm supporting our future together. And regardless of how this turns out, regardless of how the relationship turns out, it would hurt him if he did interfere with your grad school education, because let's just say things didn't work out between the two of you, then he would feel like he derailed your plans for yourself, and that also would not be good. So for him, he sees it from like a greater perspective, and he's saying it's a win-win either way, because either she's working towards something that makes her feel good about herself and is like we're building a life together, and therefore I'm going to support her, or if we end up not working out, I don't want to be the person that stopped her even temporarily from achieving these goals that she has set. So definitely definitely like a more selfless perspective from him. It doesn't mean that the days aren't going to be hard. It doesn't mean that, like, if you guys are dating for a little while and then you're seeing each other all the time and you have to kind of dial it back, it's not going to suck for him, because I think that will suck for him. But at the same time, I think he's going to try to be there, Six of Cups, as much as he possibly can for you. And I see him here as the knight and you're the queen. So he's saying, I'm going to put her before me. If we're in a relationship, she's my priority. I'm going to put her before me, and I'm going to do what I need to do to pick up the relationship. So if for a little while I have to be putting more effort into this than she can, that's fine, because it's worth it to me to make the relationship work. It's not forever. I think he just thinks to himself, this isn't forever. This is temporary. I'm not sure how long grad school is, but I think in his mind, he's thinking like, we can make it work. If we both really want it, I'm not worried about it. He said he travels a lot, so maybe he'll relocate. And then, like, that's the other aspect of it, Techie, is that I think he might have a fear of losing himself in a relationship. Like, he might have witnessed friends of his kind of just lose their identity, and their whole life is involved with like surrounding these other relationships. Or maybe he's watched his parents or his mom or something like that lose herself in a relationship, and he does not want that. He would never want you to lose yourself in the relationship. Just because you want to be with him doesn't mean you shouldn't also be able to do this other thing. And he also wants that independence. He would also want that understanding and flexibility, to do what he's doing as well. And he wouldn't want you to make him feel bad about that. So he definitely has a good grasp on things, I feel. Yeah. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. That's a real man. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder, like what his birth chart looks like, because it sounds like he has a lot of perspective and a lot of understanding, and he doesn't look at things like day by day. He looks at things from a broader perspective, like much more zoomed out. There might be a lot of air in his chart. Like, that's kind of Aquarius vibes and like Libra vibes, Gemini vibes. Geminis can see multiple perspectives. Libras are very fair and understanding. Aquarius is very progressive, and Aquarius is very much about the greater good of everyone rather than like focusing selfishly on your own being. So he might have like really good placements in maybe some air signs or something along those lines. You were curious because his work is purely remote, but that independence would be important, especially in your first year. Yeah, and I think he's fine with like focusing on himself too, and you guys just making it work where you can. Girl, you have so much air in your chart. Is it hard for people to tell you're an Aquarius rising? I hear Aquariuses are kind of like the most elusive signs to figure out. I think I spot Aquariuses maybe a little bit easier than other people do. And my best friend is an Aquarius. But I find that Aquariuses is like kind of hard to tell if you have like an Aquarius moon or sun or rising. You guys kind of have this cloak over you. Maybe it's your Leo sun that just outshines it all. But yeah, that is hilarious. Yeah, Aquariuses for some reason are like very elusive to other people. It's like the sign that I don't know if it's like the forgotten sign or if it's the sign that people just can't quite put their finger on and figure it out. It's like if I meet someone and I can't figure out what they are, I immediately go, you have to be an Aquarius, because if you're not fitting anywhere else for me, then I'm like, it must be an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius North Node personally. Maybe that's why it's a little easier for me to figure it out. I don't know. But that's typically what I do. Like, if I can't put my finger on what you are, then I'm like, it has to be an Aquarius. And usually there is it's either their sun, moon, or rising. And I'm like, there it is. Techie, I think you and I would get along really well. I'm a Gemini stellium, Aquarius North Node, and my husband and best friend is a Leo sun. He's got a Leo stellium, so I think you and I would get on real well. Lots of compatibility. Living with a Gemini moon, though, that must be kind of hard for you. How's that indecision when it comes to your emotions? You probably fight with yourself more emotionally than you do anyone else. All right, Jasmine Moore. I got your donation. Are you in here? That's so funny. Thank you, Techie. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Hey, Jasmine, what can I do for you? Hey Taka, thank you for the donation. Hey, hold on a second. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so you said you want to know about your apartment that you picked out. Do you see the neighborhood or unit being good for me? I saw some reviews that makes me nervous, but I love the actual space. I did a tour of, let's call it Springs Apartment. Okay. Sorry, I had some alarms on my phone. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna have to. I don't want to interrupt your reading, but my cat keeps getting into stuff. So give me a second. I'm gonna put him in his room real quick so I can do your question non-distracted because I just don't trust him at all. Hold on a second for me. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience letting me handle that, because it's like sometimes I feel like I have toddlers, and I have tried in the past when they're in one of these moods to do readings, and I'm like constantly getting distracted and interrupted. And I just didn't want to do that to you tonight. I didn't want to deal with that tonight. So let's go ahead and get shuffled. Let's see if you have anything to worry about at all with the reviews. Also, Taka, just to confirm, I got your donation, and Techie, I got another one from you as well. Or maybe this was a delayed one. Let me see. Oh no, Techie, this is the one I already did for you, but the notification just came through. Okay, cool. So after Jasmine, we have Taka, and that's it for the list at the moment. Does she have anything to be nervous about? Please show me a yes or a no. Does she have anything to be nervous about? Okay, I am getting a no. I think what Spirit is trying to relay with these cards in particular is that you will have run-of-the-mill problems. Okay. There's nothing extraordinarily awful about these apartments, about living here. You might just be dealing with some run-of-the-mill typical complaints that anybody living in an apartment complex would have issues with. Okay. So, as we all know, living in an apartment isn't the best. Living in a house, while it's great in a lot of ways, you're responsible for a lot of things. It's like when you start a new job, there might be a lot of aspects that you like, but it is work at the end of the day. It's kind of one of those things. I don't feel like there's anything like outrageous. And typically the people who are leaving reviews are like really, really frustrated or really, really distraught. And that might be like a case by case basis. Do you feel like the overall consensus of like every single review is bad, or are you just worried about like a couple random reviews? Let's take a look at the well, let's start with the neighborhood. A couple random reviews, lots of 1-star. I hear from Spirit to pay attention to the reviews where they mention like the same issue over and over again. If the reviews are kind of just really random and all over the place, like for example, if someone is constantly complaining about like maintenance taking forever to fix things, and there's like multiple complaints about maintenance, then that's where you're going to want to look into. You're going to want to pay attention to that. If it's just like oh, I had an issue with my rent one month, or they try to overcharge me, or there's loud neighbors, or like, if it's just like 10 random, completely different things, those would probably be case by case basis that you don't have to put a lot of stock into. I just, for you personally, would make sure that if there's a lot of repeating reviews about the same issue, that is what you look into. That is what you kind of pay more attention to. If it seems really random across the board and people are just like wanting to complain, those are kind of the things that you can't really take into your consideration. You would have to just experience that for yourself. But like I said, what I'm really getting from Spirit is it's just run of the mill stuff. Okay. There's nothing, like you said, nothing too alarming. Just want to make sure you did love the visit in the space. And I feel like it's just the normal stuff that you deal with when you're living in an apartment. There's a lot of perks to living in an apartment versus a house. With an apartment, you have things fixed for you. You can move out and wash your hands of it. Whereas living in a house, it's like your job for every single upkeep, every single issue, damage, whatever, that's your responsibility. Like I said, when you work someplace, there may be like 9 perks per one issue is work at the end of the day. So what I would do is just take everything with a grain of salt. But I do think you're doing your due diligence to do this research in advance. As far as the neighborhood, I have the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So I do really feel like you enjoy your time here. I feel like you feel like you put your money in the right place. As far as the unit, show me about the units. The Lovers and the Six of Pentacles. I think this is where you belong right now, Jasmine. I think this is where you belong. I have the Lovers, the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. As far as your actual unit, like your apartment that you will be living in and the surrounding areas, I feel like it's a lot of very good, healthy energy. I feel like at the end of the day, you feel like this was what was best for you. I really like to see the Lovers because it's almost like you and your apartment become like best friends. Like the Lovers here with this apartment kind of makes me feel like it's a perfect match, or that it's going to be very compatible. And I see you being here, like I said, for an extended time. So the issues that other people might have with this apartment complex, maybe something will happen. You're kind of like, oh, that must have been what they were talking about. But generally speaking, you're going to have your own experience. Maybe you won't have any issues at all. Maybe you will have an issue, but it'll be a different one. So I would just kind of look at what is being complained about. Is it noise? Is it trouble scheduling maintenance to come fix things? Is it, unavailable like leasing office hours, or is it just like bad management? And if whatever these complaints are, if there's like a lot of the same thing, then I think that's when you're going to want to pay attention to and decide for yourself if like that's going to be a problem. But if everything as a whole feels really good to you, I feel like you would know in your gut if this was not the right place. I don't know if anyone has ever told you, but you feel emotions in different areas of your body. You feel shame in your face, right? You feel fear in your chest. You feel anxiety in your mind. You feel sadness in your throat, and you feel intuition in your stomach. Okay. So if your chest is feeling heavy, or if you're like, I'm really nervous, but you're feeling like it more in the chest area, that's just fear. And I don't want you to mix that up with intuition. If you're walking through this through this place and you're getting butterflies and your stomach is like, you know, feeling just at peace and you feel centered and like it just you get a good feeling all over, little tingles, whatever it is, like that is alignment, and that's basically your intuition guiding you that that is the right decision for you. So we have to make sure that we're discerning between like fear because of other people's issues versus how we feel, and your decision has to be made based off of what you felt walking through the tour. You know, did you feel like you could see yourself here? Did you feel at peace? Did you feel comforted? Did you feel um like at ease? Those are the things you're going to want to pay attention to, not as much as the review thing. And also keep in mind that if you sign your lease for 6 months, it's only 6 months. If you sign your lease for a year, it's only a year. It's gonna fly by. So even if there are some issues that come up, which there might be, but if they are, it's going to be temporary because you can choose not to continue to live there if you don't want to. But I feel it's going to be a pleasant experience for you energetically. It feels very, very, very good. I don't have like basically I don't have a single negative card like in this reading literally at all. So lots of beautiful beautiful cards. Good. And that's what you want to feel. Yeah. So I think go with your gut, go with what you feel, what you felt while walking through those things. Don't let other people discourage you, because what I'm going to tell you, Jasmine, is for every single place you look at, there is going to be a 1-star review. There is going to be some people talking about, oh, how they're pissed about this or how this happened or how this is working or whatever. And doing your research and making sure you're making the right sound decision for yourself is always a good thing. But at the end of the day, like you can have a favorite restaurant that can have a 1-star review, and it doesn't mean you're going to stop going there. So at some point you kind of have to say, okay, this is the information I have, and this is the decision I'm making based off of what information I have. And overall, I feel like 85-90% good about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I can't let what someone else say discourage me. If there were a lot of alarming reviews, then obviously like definitely take that into consideration, but I wouldn't let something like a couple 1-star reviews or a couple complaints, you know, and most people are going to leave a review to complain than they are going to leave a review to talk really well about it. You know, and you could always put feelers out there, see if anybody you know, or if anyone you know knows someone who has lived in those apartments, to maybe get their experience. But if you're pretty set on your decision, then I would just like quiet the noise and just move forward. And you saying it feels like home speaks volumes, because I don't think many people get to experience that feeling right away in a new place. Jasmine, is there anything else you wanted to add on before I move to the next person? No, thank you. I just wanted to check before I applied. Good luck with everything. I'm happy you made your decision. Definitely keep us posted. All right. Taka. You're welcome. Have a good night. All right, so Taka says Jay's thoughts towards me after. Okay. Oh, did you see him today? All right, so he said Jay's thoughts towards me after work today. I was hella tired, a bit snappy. Oh no. We have a new system that went live. Oh man, I hate a new system. I hate having to learn something new. Oh my god. He said it was so overwhelming trying to learn it and teach the staff at the same time. Jay called later and was like, please get rest and leave early. You had a 14-hour shift. Oh my god. That's such a long day. Ugh. Are you ready to crash out? I think me and my staff was just overstimulated. Jay and another higher up was there. Oh, so you did see him. Okay. Jay and another higher up was there for the demo, so they stayed all day. Towards the end of the shift, the energy was more lighthearted. Well, that's good. I'm glad it ended on a better note. I vented to Jay earlier, like had a heart-to-heart about something that was stressing me out work-wise. I like the job, though. Yeah, he was there all day. He's going to be helping me out more at my store. Exactly, and the company is forcing us 3 doubles. Girl, your overtime paycheck is going to be amazing. Good God. I haven't yawned this whole live stream, and I'm like, girl must be tired. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, I remember like, oh my god, this was a million years ago, basically another lifetime ago. And also I was much younger, could handle it. But I worked at Party City when it like was still operating, and Halloween season was always insane, and you'd always get like time and a half for working overtime. And it was like simultaneously like my favorite season, but also like the most exhausting season because it was just so busy. And I sometimes would like get there at like 8 in the morning to do balloon orders, and then I would be there until close that night, and it was exhausting. I have really good memories there, but I get exactly what you mean. Liking the job, but also being tired, right? Oh my goodness. All right, so let's take a look at Jay's thoughts towards you after working together today. Jay's thoughts after working with Taco today. He's like scared. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't scared. He feels like you handled this really well today. For what it's worth, you did a good job. I have the eight of wands, which means that you juggled everything really well while like a shitstorm was happening. You somehow kept all the balls in the air and you did a really, really, really good job. Like, so for this particular card in the deck, it's basically like this girl is trying to juggle everything, like keep all the balls in the air, and then in the background there's a tornado. So it's kind of like during the shitstorm of a day, you still kept it going. You know what I mean? Like you did your best that you could in this crazy, crazy time. Um, like like manage your staff well. Tried to consume as much information as you possibly could. You did well under pressure. And I feel like the moodiness that you like may have portrayed, or you feel you have portrayed, a lot more of that was in your head than it was really projecting outside of you. Granted, I don't think you were as bubbly or as like whatever as usual. And he's so perceptive of you that I feel like he was fully aware that you were extremely overwhelmed today. But at the same time, I don't think he translates that as I'm taking this personally. So you're free to have your own feelings about however you felt today. He's not taking that on himself as feeling like that is your attitude towards him. He understands that that's just the circumstances that you were handed today. Yeah, you said I didn't used to be so moody, but you only get one off day. It makes sense. And you do need time for yourself. Um but I feel like from his perspective, you weren't as moody as maybe you think that you were giving off. Yes, you, like I said, you weren't your typical bubbly self. You were venting, you were trying to get things off of your chest. But at the same time, he can't read your mind. So if you were stewing every single second all day long for however many hours, I think you said like 14 or something crazy like that, he only saw an hour of it. Do you get what I mean? Like, you're the one that's inside of your head. You know how you're feeling. You know what thoughts you're having. You know how frustrated you are. And only maybe 30% of that got translated outside of yourself. So from his perspective, I think he really just wants you to know, number one, I don't take it personally. Number two, I care about you and your well-being, and I appreciate that you were the one to come to me and vent to me. At the same time, I want you to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Third of all, you did a very, very, very good job managing this. Under the circumstances, under the pressure that you were feeling, you did a great job. I think he wanted today to be kind of like the peacemaker for you. So he was probably coming across, maybe he was a little stressed too, but I feel like he was more so worried about you. So I don't think you were getting attitude from him. I think you were getting more encouragement and support from him. And I do feel like this was intentional. He can understand your position, and he can understand how stressful this is. And it's not just about you learning this new system. It's also about you having to make sure that everyone else in your store understands it. And I think from his perspective, he's like, I can understand how this would be overwhelming because it slows everything down, right? Like when people are new at something, they're not working very fast, they're not working very efficiently, they don't have a rhythm or a routine. And so it almost feels like you're just in the weeds 24/7. Because if today was like the launch day of this new system, you said it went live today, it's like now everything that usually takes a minute takes 3 minutes, because it's just so much slower, because of the way that people are like, wait, what do I do? What button do I push? How does this work? And you're kind of here going, now I have to pick up the slack, because so like maybe today you had to be a lot more hands-on. And I do appreciate them sending him and also this other person to you to make sure that it's running as smoothly or as efficiently as possible. But it's like everything gets put on the back burner. Everything gets delayed. Like everything gets pushed back because, things aren't running how they used to. You said you didn't get any of your computer work done. Exactly. So that's the thing, is that you feel like you're running out of time, but in reality, you're working more than you usually would and still feel like you're running out of time. So, all of that to say, he's like, I understand. I understand. Like, I get how frustrating this is. I think in his mind, he's like, I hope she remembers this is just temporary. It's a learning curve. Like, we will get it done. We will figure it out. From his perspective, he might feel a little bit like guilty because he's liking that he has an excuse to be at your store and you're like losing your shit. But he's like, I guess this is selfish of me, but I'm happy that I have a reason to be seeing her. Um, I think it's gonna be fine. Like, I think he's completely understanding of it. I think, just he likes that you confide in him. He likes that you are telling him how you're feeling about things that are stressing you out. He likes being that person to you. Okay. So I think that as long as this moodiness is like fleeting, like maybe the next couple of days or whatever, if you're still feeling this way, he's going to be very understanding. Now, if this becomes like a permanent attitude adjustment, like if you're feeling this way for months and months and months, then he might be like, okay, this is too much. But a day or two here and there, he's not going to take it personally, and he understands because he's had those days and it's only human. And maybe it's making you more charming. Maybe it's making him like you more because he's seeing more of a range of who you are. So I don't think it's off-putting at all if that's what you were worried about. Hey T, welcome in. T, I'm having a delay on donation notifications, so once yours sends through, just let me know, okay? All right, Jay's next actions. Thank you. T, you're going to be next after Taco, okay? All right, so Taka, I feel like he is taking this time up ahead to be as like creative as he possibly can to make this time together as fruitful and maximize the time together as much as possible. So I could foresee taking you to lunch. I could foresee him wanting to help make this as smooth of a transition as possible. Like essentially I'm just hearing like maximizing the time that you guys have together, because I have the Empress here, and the Empress is very fruitful It's the card of growth. It's the card of pregnancy, basically. And not just this sense of like pregnancy meaning like a creating a life, but just like just the expansion that like a connection can go through. So I feel like there's a lot of desire for him to continue to grow and develop and progress this connection with you. And I think right now during this time, when he's able to spend time with you, he's saying, how can I do this in a way where we can maximize our time together? So, like I said, an idea that came into my mind when I was looking at these cards was maybe taking you to lunch, or maybe going and getting lunch and bringing it back and you guys spending some time together in the office. And, it could be under the guise or the ruse of this is work related, but at the same time, there's like an internal intention behind it of I want to spend more time with her. So I feel like he might be trying to, and I have the Page of Cups, so I feel like he's going to do this in creative ways. He's going to try to do this in ways kind of like when he will drive you to work, like it's under the guise of like, oh, I'm just giving you a ride. But I mean, who's going to go out of their way to do that really if they don't have interest? So for him, spending this time together, however many more days you guys have in this concentrated time while you guys are working through this transition of this new system, he's saying, I want to spend as much quality time with her as I possibly can and maximize the time that we are having together. Let's see. Actions. There might be some honesty, Taka, that's coming from him in a very playful but kind of like flirty way, where he might comment on something you're wearing or the way you've styled yourself for the day, your hair, your makeup, your jewelry, whatever. I feel like, and it's going to be like not necessarily a very like blatant compliment, but it's going to be like a I see you and I'm noticing you. So he might say like, wow, those earrings, I've never seen you wear those before. Or like he may say your makeup is looking like really festive today or whatever. It's not necessarily an outright compliment, but it is an acknowledgement that he's paying attention to you and he's pointing something out about you that is standing out to him, and it's in that kind of way. Okay? So he's going to probably say something like that to you. Point something out about yourself that he's noticing, and it's going to come across like an observation, but really it's more of a compliment. Very playful, very flirty. There's definitely some one-on-one time that I feel like he's going to try to pull with you for sure. But the Justice card makes me feel like there's some honesty that he speaks to you. The Moon talks a lot about like our deepest, darkest thoughts and like our secrets and things like that. And then the Justice card is next to it. So he might be trying to bring more of his feelings for you to light. He might be saying things that are more flirty, more obvious, more playful, to give you that kind of encouragement and that kind of clarity that this is something that he's interested in. I think he's getting a bit more comfortable speaking to you very honestly, like very, very frank. Like, for example, when he called you up and was like, you need to get home and get some rest. That's him saying, I care about you and I care about your well-being. And you were in a bad mood today and I don't want you to be in a bad mood tomorrow. So it's like him, you kind of have to read in between the lines with him a little bit. That's not going to be forever, because once a romantic connection is officially established, you guys put all your cards on the table, he'll be more direct with you about that. But you kind of have to like see it for what it is, So if he's pointing out something, that a way you're styling your hair, that's him complimenting you. If he's telling you get home and get some rest, he's saying, I care about you and your health and your well-being, and I want you to be safe. And if he's saying, let me give you a ride, he's saying, I want to make your life easier, etc., etc. And just know that he will be making excuses to spend some more time with you, is what I'm gathering from this. I think that he's getting more brave about making maybe his feelings a little bit more obvious, but there is some kind of hiccup that's coming through with this other management. You said that there was someone else that was there alongside Jay teaching the staff. I'm trying to remember what you said. Oh, and another higher up. So I do think that the other higher up potentially might be, I kind of picked up a little bit like a C block, if you know what I'm trying to say. I feel like this person might be kind of interfering a little bit with his ability to spend one-on-one time with you, but I hope this other higher up isn't going to be there like the whole time, because I think Jay is looking for some one-on-one. Yeah, so that's not, I don't think this other higher up is like ideal for him. Like, I don't think he necessarily wants him there, but work comes first, so I guess it is what it is. You're welcome, Taka. I hope you have a good rest of your night. How does Xavier feel towards you, towards the connection? Okay, let's see. How does Xavier feel towards you? He feels insecure within the relationship for good reason. I do feel like this is something that he kind of did to himself, unfortunately. But he feels insecure. Like, what I'm hearing from him is that if he had stayed with you, like, let's say, He came through and he did everything that you needed or wanted from him. He feels insecure to say that if I gave her everything she wanted, she still wouldn't want me. Like, for some reason, he feels like he wouldn't be good enough. And now that doesn't necessarily mean that's how you feel, but from his perspective, he feels like even if he gave to you the way that you'd want him to, he still feels like it wouldn't be enough. He feels like he wouldn't measure up. He feels like eventually you would leave him. And this is a insecurity that he has within himself for sure, because from your perspective, when you love someone unconditionally, you work things out and you stick it out and you build a life together and you see it through and you do what needs to be done. But from his perspective, he has this like insecurity within himself that makes him feel like I won't be good enough. I will constantly let her down. I will constantly disappoint her. So I might as well just not even try. Again, it's not necessarily something that everyone would agree with, but how he feels is how he feels. It could be an excuse. It could be a cop out. It could be a reason for him to not man up and just get it done. But he feels like he would disappoint you no matter what, whether he tried or not. And so maybe in his mind, he's thinking, I might as well not even try. Um, he does view you as, I think I said this to you maybe last night, but I've also said this to you before, that if he views like, if he thinks of someone who's like his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, you are the one that comes to mind. Okay. So he's not committed to anyone else. It's not what I'm feeling. I feel like you are the commitment if he were to have one. I feel like there are a lot of days and a lot of aspects to your connection that he misses and that he wishes that he could be a part of and have and share in with you. I think that he might be a little, I don't know if delusional is the right word, but I feel like he might be a little bit, like his perspective of you might be a little bit skewed, because I feel like from his perspective, he feels like he doesn't know how, what is the word I'm trying to say? His perspective is skewed because he feels like he would not add to your life in any positive way. Um and I think that if you first time hearing that word, delusional, I feel like for you, this is such like a difficult situation because I can see and sense and feel T what you're wanting from him. You want him to step up. You want him to be a man. You want him to be your man. You want him to be the family man, the dad, the husband, the partner, okay? And you want him to want to do those things. You don't want to feel like you're dragging someone through this life to be there for you in the most minimal, basic capacity that there is, okay? But the thing is that and like you but the thing is that it's not that you necessarily want him to be that person. You just want you want that person. You want that person that wants to be there. You want that person that wants to step up and help you and be a co-parent and be a partner. And you want him to be the one that wants to do that, right? But we're having to kind of dissect this because I don't think he's ever going to be that thing that you're wanting him to be. And I don't know if he wants to be that thing that you want him to be. And so this is why it's so hard, because you're like trying to give him chances, right? You're trying to give him like the opportunity to step up and just do it. But it's like every day that goes on, that, what is the word? Belief maybe has lessened and lessened over time. You might already give up on this. And I almost feel like, T, you're doing yourself a disservice by not just maybe seeing what else is out there and giving him the opportunity so much to like step up, because I feel like every single day you're just getting disappointed. Because from his perspective, like, the bar is so low. It's so low. And I feel like from his perspective, you're giving him too much credit. Like, he feels like you're giving him too much credit. I think that he feels the pressure of you waiting on him and wondering about him and wanting him. And I feel like he doesn't want to receive that pressure. This is such like a complicated situation. Cause you're like, okay, I'm gonna write this down. You're like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. And he's like, I can't give that to you, for whatever his reasons are. That's not gonna be me. That's never gonna be me. I'm never gonna be able to do that. And then you go, okay, well, that's fine. Now I've got to take this piece of paper of everything that I'm looking for and now find it in someone else. Wish it was you, but it's not going to be. And there could be a lot of feelings that you have associated with that, you know? And this is why feelings are so complex, because he misses you and he misses your companionship. And, you know, he thinks of you as like, oh, that's my girl. And he has these insecurities, but I feel like his effort is like 10%, 20%, if we're being generous. And it's like, you know what I'm having trouble with him? He doesn't have ambition. He doesn't have ambition. He doesn't have ambition. He doesn't have motivation, right? He doesn't feel that level of responsibility that you feel. And to be honest, even if he finally came around, his worst fear would come true, because you would have so much resentment towards him for why it's taken him so long to get here. And the relationship might be even like harder to work out, because even if he somehow snaps to it tomorrow, you kind of would be over it. Yeah, be honest with me. You said, I think it's on his end that he feels pressure. It's on him. His energy gets like that. His own family can't and doesn't want him here. Oh my gosh. He has nothing left to give anyone anymore. It's like he dug his own grave. He doesn't have ambition. He doesn't have accountability. I see you, T, with like a very masculine man. I see you with like a guy who's just not scared of anything. For some reason, I have like, you know, he can hunt with his bare hands kind of vibe. Like, I feel like you got this masculine around you that's just like, I will step up, I will provide, I will take the load off of you. I don't care that you're a single mother, like, and you know, I think he comes in and he may or may not want kids. But you know, maybe he'll be satisfied with the kids that you have, you know? His sister bugs him all the time to go home, and his mom bugs him like that. How can he be here and be there for his family? I know. Just because you're native. Wait, I missed it. What was the joke about you being native? I'm confused. Is the audio still messing up? I see, I see. I just listened back. Yeah, I think it just messed up that one part. Oh, a hunter. Oh my God, that's so. Maybe he is native. Maybe. You just never know. I'm just saying, like, that kind of guy, like a guy that can play rugby or play like a super masculine contact sport or, yeah, hunt. Like, I just feel like there's this guy I'm just seeing, and I'm kind of seeing him with longer hair, if I can be completely honest with you. I don't know if he's native because I feel like that description fits like a lot of different ethnicities, but I definitely feel like there's someone that comes in and is like, let me handle it, but with like an emotional side to him, with an emotional component, not afraid to show how he's feeling necessarily. um I just feel that for you, and if that's not the description of Xavier, then we've got to write him off because I, I want you to have that. I want you to like have that person where it's like, Xavier who? Xavier who? Like, I want you to have that person that kind of just comes in and turns your whole world upside down in like the best way. Because I'm kind of over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and obviously I'm here for you, girl. If you want to keep riding on that wheel, I will answer the questions every time. But I want more for you. And you know what? You deserve a man that if he wants kids and you decide to have more, like, you deserve a guy who's just going to be a good person. Step up. You deserve that. You deserve someone who's going to impregnate you and stick around and not be an asshole and not keep you guessing and not keep you waiting. Like, everyone deserves that. Everybody deserves that kind of partner. Even the other way around, like, men deserve to have a partner like that too. Like, everyone deserves to have a partner that's going to, like, I don't know. I kind of wish, like, in a perfect world you could only get pregnant if you had a good person by your side. Like I wish that was like the rule. Because it's just so sad to me. Like, it's just so sad how like things can get like this. Funny, thank you for the read. You're welcome, T. Yeah, this guy is he's happy being subpar. He's happy being common. He's happy being mediocre. Like, I just don't feel any like desire to be better or do better. our son's birthday is soon. I feel like he's gonna reach out that day, but he doesn't even bother for him to call our son because his son loves him. But thanks. You're welcome, T. And like, do you and mother how you feel is best. But if he's not making an effort to be a part of your child's life in a big way or any way at all, don't give him any credit to your son. Your son will know who he is. When he grows up, he will get his number. He will clock him and he will understand what it is. Okay? So don't allow, like, just because your son loves him so much, the love that he gets from your son should be because of the effort he's putting in, not because you're trying to protect the connection or protect your child. You know? Get yourself some rest, girl. Sleep well, and I will talk to you soon.
Frankie and her former therapist turned business partner, Jim.
Hey, girl. Hey. Send once the donation is sent, just let me know, okay? Hey, I just got it. What would you like me to do an in-depth on? Love spread between you and Anthony, checking in current energy. Alrighty, give me 1 second while I shuffle. Okay. Well, what I will say is that you guys are still holding on to each other energetically at a minimum. Um, I got to be honest with you, I don't really remember like the readings we've done on this person in the past. But I'm just going to let you know like what we're working with right now is that it feels like you guys are still energetically connected. The bottom of the deck is the 6 of Cups. It's very like feeling like the other person is your person and you're having trouble walking away from that, and feeling like when you guys are together there's a sense of comfort and familiarity. The 6 of Cups also speaks to the past, so maybe nostalgia or looking back on this connection, um like with a I wouldn't necessarily say heavy heart, because like if you guys are in no communication, maybe it is a heavy heart, but like bittersweetness, maybe like looking back on this connection is like something that you really, really wanted at some point or another. Um, I feel like from him with the 8 of Swords here, or I'm sorry, the 9 of Swords, and how he feels about you is that there's still a lot of anxiety that's tied to your connection for him. Feeling like, he can't really seem to get it right. This can sometimes talk about like feeling overthinking maybe certain things that he's doing when it comes to you. This can also talk a lot about like losing sleep at night and things. And like there's just definitely like a tie. Like there's definitely like this tie that you guys have to each other, this like bond, um, where he feels like a lot of comfort with you and around you. His true intentions are the Knight of Swords. So his energy, I'm sorry to say, will still continue to be sporadic. And you said you've been talking on and off, but it's not consistent. And that is his energy. That is how he intends for things to go, is to just be inconsistent. The Knight of Swords kind of just does whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Sometimes can be impulsive, a bit hasty. The Knight of Swords just doesn't really think about like the bigger picture, doesn't really think about the consequences of any action, just this is how I'm feeling in the moment, and so this is what I'm going to do. And that energy can feel very unstable. So I don't see his intention being to provide more consistency for you in the near future. I feel like that's what you want. I have the 6 of Wands. You're looking for him to show up, and kind of make it known that you are the priority, that you are the one that he appreciates, that you are the one that he cares for, and looking for that acknowledgement. I think looking for that like confession, I guess, that this isn't been all for nothing, this isn't just in your head, that like he's feeling it too. For his fourth position of wants, we have the Empress. So I feel like he might be what's the word, at odds with himself. Okay. Because he sees a future here with you, the Empress. He feels like you're an ideal match or an ideal partner for him, but at the same time he battles with himself over what he wants to do in the moment. And you can't have an Empress, you can't have your ideal woman, you can't have your love match and also be flying by the seat of your pants and giving unstable behavior. So it's almost like he wants you at your best without giving to you at his best. Okay? He said that's what you want, especially because he was like that in the past, but no movement or action. Yeah. It's like, what's the word? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? Like, I feel like he wants to give you the bare minimum, but he wants you to want him, but at his bare minimum, right? Like, he wants to receive all that is good and great and amazing about you without putting in that equal effort. So that's a little bit frustrating, and that's how I perceive there to be a weakness in this connection as well, is that he's not looking at this realistically. He's not temperance, he's not balancing this correctly. Um he's not taking into consideration that your highest self isn't going to want his lowest self. And if he wants your highest self, he needs to match that energy. Also, the the slowness of this connection is perceived as a weakness for you guys. Now, I do feel that you guys have a soul connection, Page of Cups. I do feel like there's a heart centered and heart connected bond here between the two of you. And that's what kind of keeps this alive, and that's what keeps it going. And I feel like he's the type of guy that says, I want to spread my wings and I want to do what I want right now. But if I'm going to marry someone, oh, I want to send. If I were to marry someone, she would be the one, you know? Like, he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. That's the problem here. All right? You know, so like, he tells you these things, or he shows you these things, or he makes you feel like you are what he wants, but his actions aren't backing it up. And that's because it's not what he wants right now. I feel like you're dealing with, we have Two of Wands here. I feel like you're dealing with someone who doesn't know how to make a decision to save his life, and just kind of dragging you along with that mess. Just kind of bringing you along for the ride of his confusion. And that can be kind of hard, especially when emotions are involved, because if you didn't have feelings for this person, it would be so easy for you to walk away. But the feelings are there here with the Queen of Cups. I feel like the success of this relationship is based on mutual effort, and I'm only seeing the effort that you're putting in. And to be honest, Ascend, I don't even think you're putting in as much as you used to. I think this is on your shoulders to carry this out because he's not showing up the way he needs to. But I feel like even you might be backing away as well. So we're kind of in this like place of, it's only going to work if you both are putting in the same effort. And if he's not putting in effort and you're barely putting in effort, it's just like, it might just fade out. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's not necessarily ready to give you what it is that you're looking for. I think he's still figuring life out for himself. And I think that you're just being dragged down in the mess. You're like collateral damage, you know? Um, I feel like he has this idea of what he wants for himself in the future. And you so very clearly fit in that place for him. But he is not ready to make that commitment right now. And you might feel like a little bit like you're being dragged around indefinitely. Like, at this point, it's like, to what end, you know? That's why you've been leaving a door open because of the feelings, but totally you have not put in as much effort. You've been short and that's it. So I'm just like, is he going to step up or should I let go? So for his intentions, I have the Knight of Swords. Like I said, this energy is going to be sporadic. Like you cannot tie a Knight of Swords down. A Knight of Swords is off over here doing what he wants, over here doing what he wants, flying by the seat of his freaking pants. You cannot make a Knight of Swords settle down. You can't force them to do it. You can't give them an ultimatum. Knight of Swords is not in the position to settle down, doesn't want to, isn't thinking about that. Like, so for you to say, should I just let it go? If it were me, I would. I've had a Knight of Swords in my life, and you know what? He came just before my husband did. And he tried to come into my life after I met my husband, and he tried to derail that relationship. And I said, you've had enough chances. I'm going to go with this person who's actually making an effort. While it may be confusing for me because there are still emotions here tied to you, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And I can already tell just by a couple weeks into this connection that this person has way more backbone, way more ambition, way more dedication than you ever did in your freaking pinky finger. Or he has that in his pinky finger more than you did in your whole entire body. And just because you're coming back around again, what's new? You always come back around. Like, I'm not going to ruin, like, basically a sure thing with your bullshit that we've been ping-ponging back and forth for the last couple of years. So I said, no, thank you. I'm seeing someone new. And here we are 10 years later and we're married. So sometimes your Knight of Swords is going to come in just before your husband. And you have to have the strength to walk away and say, I'm willing to receive it. He's hot and cold. There was 1 week he was perfect. And then next week, I don't know why, he was like standoffish. So I gave space and I was like, no, I forgot. But also you could have called before he was more direct. And right now it's like annoying. He can't make up his mind. Yeah. Oh, I love that for you. Thank you. Exactly. I've been so understanding and even given the benefit of the doubt. And it's just sad because he started off as Mr. Perfect. All was great until we broke up. And now he's acting completely different. But in and out. And I'm like, so which is the real you? You know, two things can be true at once. He can have feelings for you and, you know, feel like there were so many good things about this relationship, but maybe he just can't get over the reasons it didn't work out in the first place. And maybe part of him just wants to see what else is out there, not necessarily romantically, but just like experience life. And maybe he's realizing through this that a relationship is not what he's looking for right now. I mean, you know, we can just speculate all day long, but I've got to admit that actions are so important. And when you when you find the right person for you and it's just so easy and you're like, what the hell did I waste my time on that for? I spent so much of my hot years, hot AF, the hottest years of my life, dealing with that bullshit. Okay? Like, what? Don't waste any more of your beautiful hot AF years on situations like that. Because your husband might be right around the corner. Best thing I ever did for myself was to say, enough is enough. I'm moving on. And here's the thing, Asen, you can let him go and you can move on and you could potentially meet someone new. And let's just say Anthony comes back around again. Let's say the same thing happens to you that happened to me, where I met my husband, future husband, didn't know he was going to be my husband at the time, but I started seeing him and started dating him, and then my Anthony came back around. Okay? Still move forward with that good person. Leave Anthony behind. Because if for whatever reason this better person that you perceive to be better for you comes along, if it doesn't work out, Anthony's still going to be here. Anthony's still going to be around. Like, so just always pursue like the new and better thing, because if it works out, that's the best thing that will ever happen to you. And if it doesn't, Anthony's still going to be in and out energy. Like, you're still going to have access to him. It's not like he's going to move on and be with and marry someone else. Because I got to tell you, I haven't checked up on this person, my Anthony, in a very, very long time. But I have been in a relationship with my husband for coming up on 10 years next month, or month after next. And I guarantee you, my Anthony, he's still single. Like, after all this time. So, like, just explore, put yourself out there, find some new kind of energy to bring into your life, because you never know what can happen, you know? You're very welcome, Asen. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Preachy, that is true. That is true. But they don't, complex is one thing, but they don't have to be hard. Okay? They don't have to be hard. If you both want it as much as each other, there's nothing that can stop you guys from making it work. And you have to show that you appreciate the other person every single day, and make sure that they know, even if it's something you've thanked them for 500 times already, thank them again. Because it's that daily or weekly reminder of, I see you, I see what you did, even though you've done it a million times before, I appreciate you, you know? Totally laugh my ass off, but I feel like I've been debating to let go or not, because once I move on, I don't think I'll go back. Hey, I like that too. I don't like the idea of being a second choice. Like, you can make, yeah, I get it. I totally understand. Like, it might be the Gemini stellium in me, but you're right. Like, once I make a decision that I don't want someone anymore, there is nothing that can make me change my mind. It's done. And maybe that's, cold of me. I'm like the ice queen, but I give so much of myself and I give so much of my heart to people that I love. And it takes a lot to get me to the point of no return. So once I do, that's it. You are cut out. Like, I don't like the idea of a second choice. Like, you can make an effort to be friends or anything. He said when you get back into contact, even as friends, he was taking me out to his fam and friends. So I was like, okay, was slow but felt priority. So once I move on, I believe you. I feel like he'll be there, but once I let go, I mean, I won't be rude. Like, if I see him, it's good, but once I detach emotionally. I said, and don't let anybody rush your process either. Like, I can tell you how things worked for me till I'm blue in the face, but it's not up to me or anyone else to tell you when you should be done with this connection. You have to get him out of your system. You have to officially know you are done and you don't want it anymore. Because if you try to let someone else make that decision for you, you're going to stay connected to this person. Okay? So hopefully you arrive to that destination sooner than later, because I would hate to see you putting yourself through this for a long period of time. However, you have to come to that conclusion on your own. No one can force you into that decision. You're done, especially because you gave so many chances. Like you said, there's no excuse if you want to make it work. I definitely agree with that. Yep. But you're right. I gotta keep my heart open. I also don't think I'll ever be ready. It's sad, but I know I can't stay also because I don't want to stay in a connection where I feel empty and not worthy of love. Yeah, there's the grass is greener somewhere else for sure. Thank you, Asen. I hope you enjoyed your reading tonight. It was good talking to you. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Thank you. Have a good night.